All right, let's talk about an industry that has taken quite a dip. Now, the government is likely to allow airline companies to resume passenger service operations. A phased-out plan indicates that domestic passenger flights could be back in the air as early as next week under stringent health standards. As Faisal Ahmed reports, the Kenya Airports Authority has convened an aviation sector players meeting today to outline the health measures to be instituted ahead of the flight's resumption.
The local aviation industry shut its doors in March when the government introduced cessation of movement in and out of Nairobi and the coastal strip counties of Mombasa, Kwale and Kilifi. This followed an earlier order that banned international flights into the country, save for cargo flights. 2 months later, the government seems to be putting up measures for resumption of passenger air services. In a letter to stakeholders, the Kenya Airports Authority has invited them for a virtual meeting on Wednesday to discuss, among other things, resumption of passenger flights. Those expected to attend include government agencies, contractors, suppliers, service providers, and concessionaires. Already sources tell Citizen Television that there are heightened activities at the port in readiness for the resumption of the flights. According to the sources familiar with the ongoings, KAA contractors are marking the international airport in respect to social distancing as well as placing hand sanitizing points. Sources further say that KAA will be meeting the stakeholders to brief them on plans that could be up and flying as soon as next week on domestic routes. However, other stringent conditions will be formulated for international arrivals, including COVID-19 tests for travelers 14 days before departure and production of the COVID-19 negative certificate at the entry point as a measure most countries have already adopted. The meeting comes only a day after the tourism industry players met CS Najibalala and formed 2 committees to formulate hotel industry health safety guidelines ahead of the reopening of the industry.
We have established 2 teams. They'll report back by next week, Monday in the morning. 1 team to discuss about how do we gradually reopen the accommodation sector, which is hotels, and how do we make sure that also the restaurants, high-end restaurants, are gradually opening without floating any rules.
Globally, the aviation industry has taken a major hit as a result of the COVID-19 pandemic. Locally, national carrier Kenya Airways has already asked the National Treasury for a 7 billion shillings emergency bailout due to the pandemic. According to the International Air Transport Association, IATA, the industry stands to lose $113 billion in sales if the coronavirus continues to spread. It has, however, indicated that screening, face coverings and masks are among other many layers of measures that it is recommending for flight resumption. It did not, however, approve of the now contentious physical distancing measures that would leave the middle seat empty in a row of 3. IATA, in a report, said that evidence so far, which it has admitted was limited, suggests that the risk of virus transmission on a plane was very low. However, the government now wants to gradually reopen the skies to avert further losses.